everyone. Today we're going to be taking a look into why these fires may have happened. And I say may in the most sarcastic way I can, because I believe we all know. However, remember, our Father is always in control. In fact, it is He that causes the 10 kings to give their power to the beast. Isaiah 54:16-17.
Lasers? Really? To change the weather?
That's right. Well, as Mark Twain once famously said, everyone complains about the weather, but no one ever does anything about it. Well, instead of doing a rain dance, we physicists are firing trillion-watt lasers into the sky to actually precipitate rain clouds and actually bring down lightning bolts.
Go ahead.
Well, this fascinates me in part because, too, I remember reading the stories that China had used this during the Olympics, that the USSR had used this after Chernobyl to create rain clouds. I mean, did those really work then? We have some of these capabilities now?
Inconclusive. Even in the 60s, the CIA used this to bring down monsoons during the Vietnam War, to wash out the Viet Cong. Governments have been playing with this thing.
Alleged to.
Alleged to, right.
Yeah.
Now, we realize that for decades now, these governments have been alleged to have experimented with weather control, but nothing conclusive. This time we're bringing in the laws of physics rather than simply waving our hands and uttering mumbo-jumbo. We're actually using trillion-watt lasers now. And in the laboratory, sure enough, they precipitate rain out of water vapor. Sure enough, you can actually bring down electricity down the beam. Firing trillion-watt lasers, you rip apart the electrons, creating what are called ions, and these ions act like seeds, like dust particles, bringing down rain and even lightning.
British Columbia on fire. And look, it's all lakeside properties. This fire looks like a nuke went off. Have a look.
Look at that. Look at some mushroom cloud, bro. Look at that. Yep, that ain't supposed to happen.
Shot by somebody on a plane going over Maui. Ring of fire. This was a video captured in Spain at the present moment. Spain also on fire. And nobody's reporting on this fire. This is in Jerusalem. This is taken in France. France also on fire. Washington also on fire. And Houston, Texas, which is
For an
also
update on this,
fire.
you can also follow the link that's posted above to learn more about where this is happening and what is happening.
This was in Germany at the largest shipyard in Europe. Thousands of tons of metal are on fire. Now, how is that possible?
200 fires are burning right across Canada's Northwest Territories, and officials there have declared a state of emergency. And then there's this surreal images from Fort McMurray, ravaged by another fire in 2016, where the flames this week turned the sky red.
Now, if they can do this, what else can they do? Let's have a look.
Here's where it's also going to get controversial, perhaps. Cloud seeding is something that I studied in school for meteorology, weather modification. Back when I went to school, it was like, oh, poo-pooed a little bit. It was too expensive, it's not efficient enough. Well, guess what? When you get desperate and then technology gets better, 20 years later, here we are. Cloud seeding is ramping up so big. You see me there showing that flare on the plane. They send silver iodide into the clouds, and then it makes it snow more.
Oh, wow.
So they can't make a cloud, right? But they're taking storms that are already there and then giving it a little boost. So this is not, that part's not new. What's new is they have hundreds of these ground cloud seeders. So they're actually puffing the silver iodide with a flare. And you see, I think I have a picture of the actual ground cloud seeder into the air. That thing sits all over the Rocky Mountains, all over the American West. 10 states are doing this. And I wanted to tell this story because my friend Russ is the state climatologist of Colorado. And he said, you got to see what's happening with cloud seeding. It is huge, and it's only getting bigger by next year.
And we know that things can change. We saw it during the pandemic. There was, you know, the waterways in Venice cleared up.
That's right.
We saw what can happen when we're much better respectful of the earth.
Is that what they call it, respectful?
And there is such an incredible spirit going on in this entire community, people helping other people. And I know that long after all the camera crews are gone and the rest of the world has moved on, the rebuilding will just begin. And Hawaiians are a strong cultural people and a family-loving people. And with the help and support, you're going to see a lot of Phoenix stories rising from the ashes here, because that Aloha spirit is real, y'all. You're going to see a lot of Phoenix stories rising from the ashes here.
I'm gonna fly, rise like a phoenix, out of the ashes, seeking rather than danger.
Our King Jesus didn't bring us this far to abandon us now. You were called, you were chosen. You were knit together in your mother's wombs, fearfully and wonderfully made. We are called to serve. King Jesus bless you all.